What's going on, everybody? My name's Dallas. You're listening to VicFoodStories, and this is the podcast where we talk about food in and around Victoria, British Columbia. I was thinking about a new way that I could try and do some conversations or something, because I don't want to do the actual podcast over Zoom. And I've been really thinking about the fact that support local right now is more important than ever. It's never been this important. I wasn't worried about places closing in Victoria that much up until about 3 weeks ago. And it's really started to really get to me. So I've been out trying to go to as many places as I can, support as much as I can. But I thought this was maybe an opportunity where I could talk to people in hospitality that own restaurants, maybe manage restaurants, and sort of get their take on things. So we're giving this a shot. First one here. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. First time inviting somebody.
Boom, look at that. We're live.
We're good?
Yeah, man.
How you guys doing?
We're good, brother. How are you?
Doing well. How's the eggnog?
It's good. I've had 3, and yeah, we're on to the beers here.
You got the coconut.
Yeah, it's the best.
Local.
Dude, what's the combination for the rum and eggnog? What's the sort of the ratio for that?
I go about 4 parts rum, 1 part eggnog. It's quite thick.
Yeah.
Quite thick. So I reverse engineer Caesars and rum and eggnogs. I like more booze than the mixer.
That's awesome. You guys are doing well?
Our bar guy at Chinatown right now is doing a bourbon eggnog where he just takes a whole egg and it's delicious. You'll have to have it if you come in this weekend.
Really? Yeah, I'll be there on Saturday.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna have that then. That's dope. I'm looking forward to that.
Do you drink much, Dallas?
Not really. I mean, if there's a reason to, I will. But like by default, it was never in my house when I grew up. There was no alcohol.
Right.
So it's not something that I was ever around. So just for me, it's kind of foreign. But now I think with my evolution with food, I'm kind of getting a real appreciation for it and using it sort of as a tool to enhance food.
Right. The pairing aspect of it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing when you have like a wine pairing or whatever dinner, what it does to the food. It like elevates it like crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Brian's been doing a really good job down at Chinatown. The bar program is awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it because I haven't been in there since everything happened and since he's got here.
Yeah, so you'll be coming in Saturday. You can give it a shot. We've got a good sized menu, but it's also like, hey Brian, make me whatever. Make me dealer's choice, make whatever you want. It always turns out to be a really nice, really good drink.
Omakase style.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I wanted to just sort of, on a different tip on this, sort of just talk about COVID and how things are going in the city basically and how you guys are doing. I want to check in with people and really get an understanding of like where you think things are at, where you guys are at, what's going on. So how would you say, how are things going for the village right now, would you say?
I'd say that it's a year obviously unlike any other. I mean, we're hanging in there. Definitely, I feel like, and I think this sentiment's probably echoed in the industry that when Dr. Bonnie kind of announced that last new set of rules where you couldn't eat out with anyone except your like immediate bubble, we definitely saw quite a decrease in activity. Almost that day, we saw sales drop pretty significantly. So we just we focused a lot on the Christmas kind of kits and the stuff that we were already doing, and we're kind of just went to the drawing board and just realized that we weren't going to have that same kind of Christmas rush this year that we were normally used to. And in a weird way, it's been a bit of a blessing. We're actually going to be closed from Christmas until January the 5th. Yeah. So we were able to kind of make a decision collectively and give our people kind of the gift of not having to rush back after Christmas with their families. And I'd say, 80% of the people that work for us, we probably haven't had that ever.
Yeah.
Because what's that normally look like? Are you normally open on Boxing Day?
No, we're going to close straight through. So from Christmas Day onwards.
Like in a normal year, like last year.
Yeah, we're right back at it on Boxing Day. In fact,
Yeah.
Boxing Day is one of the busiest days. And that's the thing, like that period from
It's like December 15th onwards almost.
Yeah, it's heavy, man. And on top of it, we squeeze a lot of group bookings in, and then try to squeeze your own family in, and then host your own family on Christmas. To be honest, you know, no one ever wishes for this, but sometimes there is a bit of a silver lining with all of this stuff. And I saw the Zambries crew is doing a similar thing today, where they're shut down through the holidays as well. And yeah, I bet you Peter Zambri has he's never had a Christmas holiday. You know, he's never had New Year's, I would imagine. You know, that team's been going nonstop since even through the pandemic. You know, they were doing pizzas, and they've been battling hard. So to see some other guys on that bus, and see some of the real hospitality guys kind of get a bit of a break and call it a bit of a ceasefire through the holidays here is we're looking forward to it for sure.
Because like, so for like the winter break, how does the winter, because I don't really know that much about the business aspect of restaurants. Like I'm starting to pick up on it a little bit as time goes on. But like during the winter, what's the typical trend for, at least for you guys or in restaurants in general? What sort of happens? Is it just like that 2-week period at the end of the winter?
I'd say October, November is kind of the shoulder season from typically, hopefully, a fairly strong summer where, you know, with tourism and everything, you've got a bit of a nest egg. And then you kind of break even, maybe give a bit back in November. And then when you get back in November, you kind of get a bit of a rush there through Christmas, you know, with groups and whatnot. And then, January and February is usually a pretty good kick in the balls, right?
Yeah, the first week of January is like when people are still off. It's still all right.
It's okay, yeah.
Like December 15th and January 5th. It's kind of like when the students are off and families, you know, make the time. And that those periods are all right. But then it definitely, like, that second week of January is just like, you know, and especially, I mean, our neighborhood locations are a little different than the downtown location because, you know, we have a pretty loyal following in the neighborhoods, and there's a lot of families that are able to come during that Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to noon time. But Chinatown being a little bit newer too, we're still building the clientele down there. So,
but yeah, I think typically landscape January, February, no one in the hospitality business expects to do too much.
No.
And usually things kind of pick up and get a little bit better in March, and then kind of go from there. So usually kind of 3 to 4 months of not pain, but it's a bit quiet. And obviously, you know, COVID probably picked the absolute worst time. You know, like had it shut us down in November after summer, you know, it would have been a lot different, I think, than March. I think March is typically when you kind of start, you know, getting out of the hole, so to speak, and you typically keep on people and weather the storm, so to speak, through January, February to get to March, April, May.
It's like spring break, and that's when it's
totally. And even weather, right? Like our seating capacity gets reduced in the winter time, like everyone's does. We don't have our patios, and sun brings people, right? And I think that's a huge part of it too. It's weather. So when it's socked in raining, like I know on Sunday, this last Sunday, we had a really slow Sunday, just out of, you know, it was raining sideways. No one's going out. And I get it. You know, I feel the same. You know, it's warm at home with my family, and with all the restrictions in place right now, it does make sense to bunker down a bit, for sure.
Yeah, it's just, I guess, so when I've been talking to places, they've all sort of mentioned that like 50% drop off. Like it almost seems like they were at 50% of normal, but now in the past 3 weeks, it's been a 50% drop from there.
Yeah. And,
so
like,
that's what started to really worry me, though. That's where I started getting worried about places, because not everyone's going to go out there and start like saying, "Hey, we're in trouble."
Yeah. Well, and like blue chip places too, like Fernwood Pub and stuff. You know, like it's like my buddy Mike. He hasn't seen it this quiet, and he's huge into Christmas parties, right? And so he said this year it's an awakening that, you know, it has been really quiet. But I don't know. But for the most part, though, I still, like, people are still out there supporting, and you know, Victoria is incredible for how well we're supported throughout this whole thing, right from March right until now. Like I saw today outside Bungalow, there was like a 12 deep lineup of people waiting patiently in line 6 feet apart to go into this little retail shop to just buy, you know, Christmas wares. And I see Susanna, Ruth, and Dean. She's been fairly busy, and I think people are they are really stepping up. Like even for us, like we've seen a lot of people just buying GCs like crazy, and it's amazing, and we couldn't, like, we feel very grateful for the support, which is why it does hurt us to kind of close down for a couple weeks, but ultimately I think for us we had to kind of look at our own people and what they're dealing with, and on their side of things too. So they were all pretty good with the decision financially, so we were able to kind of take a bit of a break. But
yeah, well, that's a big move for 5 locations to all shut down.
Yeah.
But I think that goes in line, like when you're thinking about your employees and having some time off at the end of a tough year, like that one lady that you brought on the team that you told me about when we did the podcast, that was sort of
Adele.
Yeah. So like that falls in line, I think, with you bringing her on the team. And for people that don't know who she is or what she does, could you sort of explain what she does for the 5 locations?
Yeah, we hired her. Basically, we were looking as for an HR manager, and I think our definition of an HR manager early on was different than what she's turned it into. But basically, her role is people and culture, and so she deals with all the HR issues, whether it's hiring, onboarding, firing, all that. But she's got a background in coaching, and she's really been a good resource for all of the entire team, including us. Like, honestly, we went through a really tough year with all this, and like to have somebody on our team that can coach us and mentor us through this and give us the right
It's
guidance.
way smarter than us.
Way smarter. Way smarter.
Yeah.
And it, like, I mean, we wouldn't, I don't think, by no means was this an easy year, but she made it a lot easier and organized our thoughts and organized our plans a lot more than we would have, because it was a lot of adjusting, a lot of pivoting, and a lot of creating a new concept for what we do, and she definitely helped us along the way. So she's more than just your traditional hiring and firing HR manager.
Yeah, I guess this year too, Dallas, like for our decision it was easier, I think, for us because we closed 2 days a week at 3 of them already. And then we were going to close, we always close Christmas, we always close New Year's Day. So for the 3 locations in the neighborhoods, we technically only missed 6 business days.
Okay.
So it was kind of, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a full, it was an ability to close like 12 days without actually being closed 12 days. And again, I also don't want to take away from anyone out there that's still hustling and open and grinding and willing to serve everyone in that time and take time away from their families. Like I said, we've really actually encouraged our own people, and I know for me, I'm going to be out there on the other side of the table, supporting as many local businesses as I can. And I've actually seen so many cool initiatives. It's countless right now. Like, everyone's doing their own meal kit and everyone's putting their own recipes out there, and Daniel's dropping different types of ice cream, and it's like, Tarn's going that, like, it's crazy to see the stuff that's going on. I think Israel just had a crazy drop of heritage corn, and so it's just kind of to be able to kind of take a step back and turn the restaurants off, so to speak, for 5 days, not 5 days off, 5 restaurants for a week or so, to be able to kind of just ourselves take a step back and engage in all the amazing initiatives that are going around us. I think I'm looking forward to that a lot as myself.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing, the city. Like, you just said a bunch of things, seeing people step up and evolve. But I mean, and you guys are like paramount of that. Like, the second COVID hits, shutdown happens, you guys are now like a grocery delivery service.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of food that was going to go out. We made a lot of promises. I mean, in all fairness, it honestly happened really organically. It was never a forced thing. And I think actually our brothers and sisters in arms, like, all the hospitality business, I think we're all realizing we can do that. Like, I see the Ruby's got a Benny box going, and I just think, oh, thanks, kids. Look at that. Look at this.
Say hi, guys.
Hi.
This is Dallas. You guys know Dallas, right?
Dallas can smell his cookies right now.
Look where the girls
I'm a cookie monster. I'd be devouring that whole thing. You have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. All
Hi.
right.
That reminded me, the last time I saw them, I had my pizza pop. Remember the notes I had on the back of that pizza pop thing?
Yeah.
I got to say, Brian, like, you've changed my life with that tip on the oven, doing them in the oven.
I told you.
Yeah, it's like pizza pops now are not a 4-minute thing. This is now a 22-minute investment. Got to let it cool down, then you eat it. Way better.
Like, it's a little crispy on the outside. It's like,
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that got me through college. I got some tips for pierogies too, if you need them.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, let's to let everybody know.
College.
You didn't go, did you?
What's the pierogi tip?
I partied my way through college.
Okay.
What's the pierogi tip?
What's the pierogi tip?
Well, I put on paprika at the very end. I turn the burner off, add a little paprika, toss some paprika.
Yeah.
And then always serve it with sour cream and salsa on the side and fresh grated cheese on it, so the cheese kind of gets gooey on top.
Ooh.
I'm lactose intolerant, so it's my kind of cheat meal.
Yo, so when is the village going to have this?
What's that? We're
The
talking about.
pierogies.
Yeah, do a pierogi style, Brian style.
No, actually, Yulia at our event. Well, she's worked at every location. She's one of our aces in the hole for sure. But she's Ukrainian,
Yeah.
and anyone that knows Yulia definitely knows Yulia. She actually makes incredible pierogies. So hopefully we can twist her arm a little bit, and
That's a good idea, actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we can get some of that stuff going for
Put a
sure.
poached egg on top of a big mound of pierogies.
That'd be great.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I definitely have seen in the city. I think, I can't compare versus other cities, but it feels to me like people here are supporting more than I think that I would even expect. Like people are going hard and supporting the places that they do love.
Well, you know, so I've been spending a lot of time at Chinatown, and people are coming in from for lunch with bags with just from local shops downtown, and I always say, hey, thanks, thanks for putting your money in the local economy here, and everybody's actually that I've said that to is like, this is the time to do it. We're all of our friends. It seems like there's definitely like an overall consensus of going out and supporting all these small businesses. I mean, you got to feel bad for a lot of those small shops on Government Street and the tourist shops and the small little local mom and pop kind of. It's a tough bill for sure. We've lost a lot of the dollars that go into that part of the economy and just haven't come around the city. So if we can help, inject a little bit this time of year, it's that kind of rest point before it gets real dark in January, February.
Yeah, it's funny because you asked me, I think the other night, Dallas, you were like, what can we do to support?
That was going to be my next thing. What can people do? Like,
I think people are doing it. Just keep doing what you're doing, and we all really appreciate it. But I keep seeing like there's a million examples even in my own head through our own order managers for all the different offerings that we have. They've all been tapped, and all of you out there kind of know who you are. But there's I don't want to start dropping names here, but there's people that are ordering our kits like every meal, and every time I drop it off to them or whatever, and I just thank them for their support. They're like, well, we got to eat. We might as well eat with you. Mm-hmm. And I know we're a breakfast place, but they've been like anything we're putting out there, and even right down to my kids, like doing a fundraiser for Santa's Anonymous the other day. I think with 2 days notice, they had 40 families like all donating, and I think they ended up raising like $1,000 for Santa's Anonymous. I think
that's amazing.
I think Bailey, who did what did she do? 3,000 squats in the Lululemon window. She raised like 15 grand or something like that in one day for Santa's Anonymous, right? So it's like definitely right now, whoever's out there trying and doing what they can, it definitely seems like they're getting rewarded with what they're putting out there, and the community is responding big time. We're feeling super grateful, to be honest, right now, and lucky to be in the position that we're at, to be honest.
How many meal kits are you guys up to now?
Are we talking like kind of weekly?
This total.
Like
how many
how many offerings do we have?
Yeah. Like how many? Like the one that I had was amazing.
Yeah, I think we're at about 7 or 8. We've had to tone it down a little bit. Obviously, things are a little quiet right now, and the produce, it's not as ample local as we'd like.
Yeah.
And obviously, with us kind of coming to an end and closing for a couple weeks, we kind of dialed things back. We released a Christmas dinner that sold out really quick with almost hardly any advertising. And then we've got some brunch kits available. We've got the taco kit's been going mental, man.
Yeah.
It's that, got that magic from Israel right now. And then our own team just has done such good accompaniments for it that taco kit's definitely the number one seller right now. I'm surprised our breakfast kits or our brunch kits haven't sold as well. I definitely know, though, I think all the restaurants are still open right now. Plus, I don't love the price point on it, but then I just realized how much like the ingredients that we actually are putting out for breakfast are. When you put them in kind of eggs and hollandaise and like a 250, the price does get up there a little bit, but especially if someone to cook it at home for themselves. But so I guess I'm not that surprised.
Right.
But yeah, the offerings are there. I think Chinatown, exciting one actually that we just launched today is Chinatown's doing a turkey faux kit.
I saw that.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. May's kind of like she's suspect of what it's going to actually taste like, so we may end up having to refund everyone when she comes and does the taste test and she's not happy with what she tastes. But I think it's going to be good because I think it's going to add a bit of a pungent kind of game flavor and kind of turn the heat up on flavor a little bit.
Yeah, turkey soup, chicken soup, they're both delicious.
I can drink turkey gravy.
Yeah,
it makes the best congee. So I'm very hopeful and excited to try it. For sure.
Well, just that thought that you guys have at that location is insane. I mean, for me, it's my personal favorite one that I've had in the city.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it would definitely, like, at first, we were kind of like, are people actually going to have this with a Benny? But we're definitely seeing a lot of people have it. And I think the way we're serving it and the way obviously May is also coming in and tasting it every week and actually helping us, which is a huge part of it. But I also think it's chicken, right? And we're used to eating beef. And so I think it's just different than what people have had. It's also using good local birds. So yeah, it's been really good. It has that feedback on the phone is really good. We're gonna kind of hit light speed on that in January for sure. Chinatown's actually been a really nice surprise with how dead downtown is, and the fact that it's pretty much like a destination restaurant now. Like if you're going downtown to eat at Chinatown, you're probably preemptively planning it. We're getting a nice little lunch rush, and people seem to be really receptive to the pods that we've kind of built. Yeah. Shout out Nowhere Restaurant.
Yeah,
when we had dinner with you that night, they inspired us to be like, let's just give people some privacy and not worry about plastic in the room. And
people have been loving it too. It's funny because when we built them, I was thinking it takes away from that seeing everybody. You get a whole view of the restaurant. You feel the energy of the whole room. But obviously, with the landscape of everything now, people feel a lot more safe to be in their own. And so, everyone that's watching that hasn't seen it, basically, it's like we have dividers that go about this high behind our booth, so you get basically a whole private seating, and it's quite intimate actually. It's great for brunch, and at night it's awesome because you really get that. You get to lock in on the person you're with. And
yeah, I'm excited to see that because I like at Nowhere. I do love the way they've done it, like floor to ceiling walls almost.
Yeah.
Like they went full on with it, and I like having that. It's almost like your own restaurant. You can't see anyone else, and I actually personally really like it.
Well, what I realized that night when we ate together, Dallas, was like it puts blinders on you in that room.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it's wide open and you're being seen and you're seeing other people, it does sometimes take away from the people that are right in front of you and the food. And then every time a different person came to the table and talked about either the wine or the dessert, and I think every single staff member that night touched the table in some way and actually made a connection with us and an impression on us. And I think Brian and I really we learned quite a bit that night. Not learned, but we were really inspired by how they're doing things.
That style of delivery.
Totally. Yeah. And we were kind of that old school hospitality of what they were doing really inspired us to kind of really go for it in our own way. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. And for me, if I'm going out for dinner, I haven't gone to Chinatown yet, so I don't know how that ranks versus them. But I want to go to Nowhere.
Yeah,
right.
That's my spot.
Yeah.
But I am because when did dinner start at Chinatown? It was only like a month ago, wasn't it?
Probably about 2 months now.
Okay.
When was it?
Yeah.
Start of October.
Yeah, probably a couple months now.
Yeah.
Because the team, and honestly, I don't think Brian and I can even sit here and take any credit. Bree, Brian, MJ, Chris Juan, Duskin, the team that's there right now, they're working so well together, and MJ, they've really pushed things forward, even when maybe me and Brian didn't believe a little bit with all the things that were going on. They've really surged ahead, and I couldn't be more proud and excited to see what they're going to do with it next. And we've got a lot of hope down there right now. And I think Chinatown as a whole's got a lot of hope with Israel cranking out tortillas in the middle of Fantan Alley there. We got Tarn up the road. Swans is always going. And Rain Dog just opened up.
Yeah, Rain Dogs, I've heard, has amazing stuff.
Yeah, we're excited to check them out. I love wine.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna definitely pop across there. Hopefully, when we get some time off. I think Brian and I were talking about it today. But no, it's cool, man. Chinatown, you know, it's got a special place in my heart. I literally grew up kind of playing on those streets when my dad would, you know, the uncles and dad would be, you know, smoking and having their beer after dim sum or whatever. We'd go run the streets and go in a little Fantan cafe shop and pick up little like firecracker things. And I remember playing there. And so now, like, to even just get to be a part of it in some way, and hopefully a bit of a rebirth to draw people down there, is fantastic. Like I'm hoping Israel stays in the neighborhood. I've actually was contacted by, I don't know if Israel's connected with the guy, but there's a new restaurant space coming up that's actually attached to the courtyard that Tarn was doing her pop-up in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so Robert Fung from the Salient Group reached out to me the other day, letting me know. And I think they're actually using that space for the next, I want to say for the next couple months, like I think the Chinese Benevolent Society of Chinatown and Robert Salient Group are going to do like a pop-up kind of like Chinese history of Victoria kind of like museum type thing in there. And then after that, he's got plans to potentially turn that into a restaurant. So love to see Maze set up there, because I think Israel wants a window, and I hope he might be even watching here right now. But I think that'd be an incredible fit for the neighborhood. And
that's sick. I didn't even.
The opium factories.
Yeah. But you know, it's not just that. It's like have you ever been to that place for the cured meats and stuff that are hanging next to Fizgard Market, Loisingwon? It's like
I've seen it. I have not been in.
It's like for some reason it just fell off my radar over the years. Like I usually go get my roast duck from Sampan or Walla Yun, but these guys have been around like forever, you know. And all they do is like Chinese barbecued meats, you know. And my mom brought me over a little package the other day of some roast pork from them, and I was like, holy shit, like unbelievable. And Ken actually from Fizgard Market's been helping us a lot too. So we definitely don't want to like, you know, leave out the OGs of Chinatown, so to speak, like Alex and May over at Walla Yun, and even the Longs at Don Me's there. But Chinatown now, like I think there's some fresh energy, and I can't forget Larry at Ocean Garden there, of course. But and then Mark's up at Brasserie there. So like it's got a really cool it's got a really cool thing going right now. And,
yeah, I've actually never been to Brasserie still.
You've never been to Brasserie?
No, which is crazy.
That is insane. I don't think he's busy, man. And again, it goes to show like he's in control, but like people have come out to support him, and he's busy, and it's just good to see kind of the blue chip. Like I call them just like the guys that have been around. They've been doing it for a long time. People are supporting them, I feel, the most, you know, and that's really nice to see. Like it's nice to see all everyone up and comers, but to see people like supporting like long-term businesses is really good to see, for sure.
Well, that's super important. Like when you have those pillars of Victoria, the culinary scene here, it's important they stick around.
Yeah.
You need that continuation of someone that knows what it was like before.
Exactly.
And actually, right before we started this, I saw that Dragon's Gate closed down after 27 years.
Which one?
The Dragon's Gate, the one at right by.
I think they're back up and running.
No, they closed. Mo just put in the hospitality group that they closed
today.
Just announced.
No way, because I literally saw people waiting outside for takeout there like 2 nights ago.
Yeah, he posted it 10 minutes before I went live here, which is it was crazy to see that.
Well, we are going to see some of that, and it's super shitty, but it is going to happen. I also think that this industry too, like sometimes we as restaurant people, like, you know, we're happy to take some punishment, And sometimes you kind of need that thing to kind of push you along off to the next thing, and that next thing might actually be greener pasture for you, right? So, you know, I wish anyone that's not going to see it through. I wish them all the best, but yeah, unfortunately, I think some of that is going to happen.
Yeah.
And you nailed it, Dallas. Like we get to vote who stays, right? So, and people are voting right now. Is not going anywhere.
Yeah,
so,
they will not be.
Yeah, I can get in the other night. And
When do you guys think stuff sort of goes back to normal? How long do you think that is?
I mean, in what sense? From like restaurants being opened up, or the psychology of humans?
Not the psychology. That's going to take a long, long time.
Yeah.
But I think like the point where we could just go back, like in a movie theater, maybe, like kind of how we used to.
Well, I don't know. It would be. I mean, it would be nice for this upcoming spring and summer. That'd be fingers crossed in a perfect world. I think that would be ideal. If, all this rollout of the vaccine works great, and
I think it's gonna be like that a bit, Dallas.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's gonna be this like vaccine and we're good.
Yeah.
It's we're probably gonna get a bit of respite this spring, summer, and I think there's gonna be an opportunity again, and hopefully government kind of cooperates with us a bit here and allows the patios to continue and all the advantages we've been given. If they open things back up this summer, hopefully they allow us to capitalize on those advantages. Like I know our good friends there at Hide and Seek finally got their patio. They finally got allowed to build their patio, and like now it's December. So I'm hoping that Jamie and Jesse get at least a season coming up out of that. But I do think it's going to come back and forth in waves a bit, and we haven't really seen what's going to happen with the vaccine. So we're kind of we're definitely going to keep the takeout and the kits and stuff kind of in our holster, so to speak, and make sure that. And it's good now, right? Like restaurants, our whole industry have that lever that we can pull in times now. In March we were fucked, and now like everyone has that ability. Like it's awesome. It's cool to see, and I really think that there's, we're not like, obviously we are hospitality people. We want to serve people in our dining rooms, and we want to give that show and that experience, but we've got some tools now that we never had before that we're open to that can help us kind of add some revenues and do some other things besides just kind of one revenue stream. And I think that ultimately is going to help in the long run for all the businesses that are going to stay around.
What do you think sticks around after things start to go back to normal? Like things that changed as COVID came in, things changed. What sticks around?
I think a focus on takeout and delivery, and I think restaurants having more than just a sit-down revenue stream. I think the several small slices of pie is going to be necessary for the next couple of years.
I hope washing hands sticks around, because we never washed our hands before, and now we're all washing our hands.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
It's
just like,
you never washed your hands before, But I think it's going to be a while too. Like you said, the psychology of the diner, just like, I remember when it first all happened, and I was dropping off food at my mom's place, and she came through the door with rubber gloves and a mask on, and I said to her, I'm like, it's going to be a while for this. I've never expected being greeted by you and like this before, so that's going to take a while, I think, to reverse. I think there's definitely a large part of the population, that has had illness in the past or compromised immune systems of some sort, and it's going to be a while, I think, until they're comfortable, without a doubt. So
I know what's going to stay for us a bit, Dallas, but I can't speak for everyone else. But our reduced capacity, like I don't see us going back to full capacity. Leading up to the closure, adding more seats and doing more people and doing more covers. Obviously, that's something that you always want to do.
Yeah.
But we realize now, actually, it's not always what's best for our guests and our business to push things to the limit. It's good to actually have some space and give people some comfort and, allow proper time to have things sanitized like properly. And I kind of like I like that our teams are actually sanitizing high touch surfaces kind of 30 minutes because, restaurants, there's ebbs and flows in business. And now I definitely find our people are constantly working and busy. And I would imagine, I think the day does go by a little quicker, than before, there was more idle time, I'd say, in a way.
Yeah.
And we've also learned, I think, to be, people are a lot more efficient now than it was leading up to it. When it was just gangbusters busy, there was always a lot of bodies on, and I don't know if those bodies were always productive. And now, because we've had to keep the bubble small and kind of keep things in control, we've had to kind of take quality over quantity for sure. And that for us is not going to go anywhere. And I've even noticed kind of going out and around, I haven't had as many interactions with like entry level people. I've had more interactions with owners,
Right. Yeah.
managers, people that that have been there, and seeing a lot of familiar faces kind of back on the front lines. So I think we're that's where we're at anyways. We're gonna try to keep things pretty not tame, but control is probably a good word there. We're gonna kind of try to manage our business better than feast or famine of like crazy busy to like an empty room. It's like we're going to try to be a little more steady. So whether things are up or down, we're kind of going to try to stay in the middle a little bit. I'd say is something we've kind of taken away from it.
Because obviously without COVID, you would have never purposely dropped the amount of seats in your restaurant.
No.
Never.
No.
No, wouldn't have been our first choice.
Yeah, so it's wild to hear that. Like,
we're putting them 6 feet apart. Sounds great. Yeah, no, wouldn't have been our first decision.
I just think what I've seen is like people are patient, and when we're in better control of the room, and we're not letting this like surge push us around, and we're actually managing the business levels properly. It's letting our cooks actually cook the bill at a higher level. It's allowing our prep and our cuts, and everything we do is actually on a higher level right now. It's interesting because it's obviously it's one of the worst times, but if you actually go and eat out right now, like you're getting everyone's best shot a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's small teams, it's owners that are cooking, it's the experience overall, like we're working harder to put out a better product out of the position that we're in. So it's interesting because now actually, to take your girlfriend out and eat out as a deuce, man, you've got the whole staff serving you. Like I was at Torquay the other day with my family, and I was like, oh, it's either going to be really busy, which it's okay, it's great, obviously for the business, or it's going to be dead, and we're going to get to have like a nice, like we got a little fire pit there, and I'm like, we're going to get to have breakfast on a Sunday in like a medium busy room, and that's what it ended up being. And I remember when we got served breakfast, like all three of the people that were there that day, they all came out and served us at the same time, and I was like, look at this, like this is amazing. Like it was, so it's good with the bad, man, but it's kind of funny, like the service levels right now are through the roof. From what I can see.
I've actually noticed that in the times, because I've been going out a lot more recently. Everything seems to be on a higher caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like everyone's on the ball for sure, because it is more important right now. And speaking about Torquay, I saw that you guys got a new patio there.
Yeah, sweet. It was really nice when we did sign the lease. Early days, we renegotiated. I grew up in that neighborhood, and that was always it was video stop back in the day. And there was this big, like, unkept garden section in front, probably about like 400 square feet. It was actually pretty big, and so we asked for. We only had, it was an old Domino's pizza, so I think that it was only 750, 800 square feet. So we knew that we needed more seating, and it was we negotiated a patio for out front.
Shout out Danley.
Yeah, what's up, Danley?
Yeah.
And then, but in the building process, we had glass dividers that probably went up about 5 feet, which is great for the wind barrier, but then, we didn't have any coverage over top, and it was, wasn't an oversight because it would have blocked a lot of the signage. Anyways.
Straight up, they didn't want us to do it.
They didn't want us to do it.
And now with COVID,
Really?
they're like,
yeah.
hey, we need be more outdoor dining. And in fact, they're going to let us, they're actually going to add on the outside of that patio, common outdoor seating for the whole mall. So this summer, there might be, 50, 60, 70 seats out there for us, Starbucks, Subway, Naughty, Nelly's, or whoever.
Yeah.
That's amazing, but that makes total sense with that space.
Totally. The shared strata square footage there is huge.
And hands down, honestly, like they've been, for us anyways, they've been absolutely amazing through this as landlords. They've been super supportive, super progressive in the way they think, and really great. Like right from shutdown, like I called Victoria and Susan, and they were like, "We're with you guys. Like whatever you guys need, we have you. We got you." Right. Yeah. So, and even in the thought of the common space, it's almost just to give the neighborhood like some outdoor seating to like congregate and meet.
Yeah.
I still think that there's still having people in your homes a lot different than meeting on kind of common ground, right? At a restaurant or something like that, which actually kind of surprised me with what's going on, where we're not allowed to kind of be out with anyone except our kind of immediate, bubble. But I thought we were kind of a safe place for people to kind of go out. There's professionals cleaning the table. Everyone's distanced properly. Everyone's masked up.
It seems like restaurants have not been a source of spreading.
And now we're going to drive people underground. Yeah. And that was part of our fear, is that now that people can't be out in the open doing whatever they are going to do on Christmas Day, they're going to be doing that on Christmas Day anyways, because you can just see from social media the different perspectives on what people feel about, from masks to distance to whatever it is. And so we were kind of like, okay, well, everyone's going to do whatever they want or whatever it is on Christmas. And then specifically, potentially people that are either from out of town or whatever, like what's the first thing they're going to do on Boxing Day when, it's probably going for breakfast, right? So we were kind of like, I don't think either one of us are like in fear of COVID, so to speak, but we were like, you know what, we've come this far, and our people have had to deal with quite a bit. And definitely I've noticed too, like with all the support also comes in like a demographic during Christmas time of people that are a bit transient, and they're also a bit stressed out. It's the holidays, and I myself have witnessed some interactions just out and about at other businesses, and they're not that sweet. Like they're stressful, man, and people are just trying to do their jobs. I think sometimes people need to remember that. And I was at Slater's the other day. There was a lady in there who refused to put a mask on, and she was giving Jeff the harshest time. Like had her camera out, and like Jeff was just like, he didn't mandate masks. Like, you think Jeff wants to wear a mask? You know what I mean? It's like, anyways, long story short, I was kind of like, it's going to be nice to have a break from that a little bit, for sure.
100%. I mean, it just, for me, like, I really think about the fact that, like, if your normal operating level of stress is at like a 5 or a 4, you just tack on like 3 notches of that. Now you're starting at a 7. And that's what it seems like the whole society's just been ramped up 3 or 4 notches. Yeah. And now we're all sort of on this higher level where we wouldn't normally necessarily get to like the 10 out of 10 as fast before. Yeah. So. Yeah,
the daily check-in stuff is great, but it's also like, we just keep talking about it. It's and so it does. It's hard for we're all grown. We all understand the rules. It's like mountain biking. If I thought about dying every minute of riding, I'd crash. And so it is sometimes kind of. But I don't know anything, right? This is new to me, but I just kind of sometimes look at the way things are, and I can't help but feel like, we're obviously trying to do the best we can, but sometimes it's like, if you're closing gyms or if you're closing something, like, why do you have to announce it in this big way? Like, why can't you just maybe speak to that industry and support them and trace where the spread, but whatever.
Where's your favorite place to mountain bike?
What's that?
Where's your favorite place to mountain bike, Jason?
Mount St. Helens for me right now, for sure.
Okay, because I always see like on the weekend you're always out riding your bike with your family.
I ride Heartland quite a bit. Yeah, the kids are a little more. The family's a little more fair weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mount Zuhalem is probably one of my favorites in the valley there. Really well built and really well marked, especially for kids. But the riding on the island here is pretty tough. I'm pretty new to it, so I think that's why it's got me so much right now. It's a nice escape. When I'm out there, I can't think of anything else, or it's just too dangerous. So it's good.
Yeah, it's Mike, the other food guy.
Yeah.
With Brian, I want him to race you, but he's not going to.
Come on.
He's scared.
Let's go.
He's scared. He's got kids. He doesn't stretch off.
He said he's retired.
Do it for charity.
Yeah, no,
That would be
but
good,
he got into mountain biking a little bit, and one of the guys from work took him. But the guy at work is like upper level, like high level guy. And Mike was telling me about when you get to the top of one of those drops.
Oh man.
And like it's scary.
Oh yeah. I've gone out twice with Jay, and it was the first time was I was pretty cautious. You're going slow and everything. The second time you get a bit of confidence, and I actually flipped his bike. And then I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
He was over it.
Yeah, not for me. It's definitely like I see why I see the attraction without a doubt. I've personally just never been a thrill seeker as much. I've been more, play music or find something else. Yeah, it's definitely exhilarating. That's for sure.
I will say this though, you want to talk about Slam City? Go to a mountain bike park right now. It is packed.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the skateboard park over in Vic West. Every time I drive by there, it's packed.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
You know what else is packed? Costco.
Okay. I haven't been out to Costco in.
I haven't been to Costco in a long time.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's slam.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything upcoming for like when you guys reopen in the new year? Do you have any plans for upcoming stuff? I mean, you've done so much this year that I don't know what else you'll be able to do.
A big focus is going to be on the Chinatown nights. I'm personally, I know Jason is too, quite excited about it. I think we've got a really good. We've tried doing dinners in the past at a lot of our other locations, and it always seems like we're missing a couple key parts. But this time with Brian on the bar, he's been a huge factor of like, it's obviously not just the food. There's the cocktails, there's the ambiance, there's the music, there's all that stuff. But I mean, he brings a solid cocktail game. And what's nice about it too is that they're like that 10-minute cocktail that comes within 2-3 minutes. It's not like a long drawn out. Which personally I really like that. I like a really well crafted drink that there's not 30 or 40 steps. There's nothing wrong with that, but for what our delivery and what we're going for, it's just not. It lines up really well with what we're doing. So I'm really excited about what Chinatown Nights is going to become in the new year.
And like, it's not some slick contrived thing, man. It's just like a bunch of like young guys like figuring it out as they go. Like, Chris Wan literally the other day on his ramen cook, like had David Chang's cookbook like open beside him while he was like trying to figure it out as he went. And like, we're at a point now, it's like if we taste it and we don't like it, then we nuke it. And if like they're onto something, then we'll go for it. And it's been a lot of fun. Like, it's super grassroots. Like, I don't know, I think Brian and I were saying the other day, like, it just kind of gives us that juice and that kind of like new energy to the thing again, and yeah, it's cool. And just trying to keep up, like being in Chinatown now, there's it's not even like a competition thing, but it's like an inspiration thing. Like I know that while I'm sleeping, Israel is literally grinding corn, and it like makes.
Oh yeah, he doesn't sleep, dude. He doesn't sleep. He's doing his thing. Like he's going hard.
Oh, so is Tarn. Tarn's going hard too, right?
Yeah.
Like, God, look at these guys go, right? I got to kind of bring it out of me a little bit here to just keep up, and I love it. It's just such good spirited stuff, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
How was Chinatown first received when you guys opened?
For dinner or for breakfast?
For either.
Dinner was actually, we got a lot of support early days. Well, it's only been a couple months. So the first couple of weeks, we definitely had all the friends and family, and we are lucky to have a good team of, about probably 40-ish people on staff now. So we did have a lot of staff and friends of staff and family came and gave a good support for the first couple weeks, and then they, I think that just the word of mouth through them, and then through Instagram, and it's been a pretty good. I've been quite surprised actually through this kind of pandemic and slow time and slow period that we've been able to build a little bit of stuff. Something that I'm pretty proud of, and I know that we're both proud of it. And I think there's a lot of room to grow left in this. So it's been received well.
It's funny though, like you can't judge it off of like these huge numbers anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what we kind of used to be like this scorekeep. And now it's just like how many people are coming through that haven't been through that.
Yeah.
Actually, like every time they're like, that pho is amazing. And I think about May coming on Sunday with her son in tow and just tasting the soup just to like help us out. And then someone actually appreciating that. And even May came in the other day with Jesse and had a bowl, and she's like, all right, you guys kind of got it. Like that's the kind of stuff right now that I'm like, yeah, like Chinatown's got that. It's in flow, and just that team down there, like how it got assembled, and like Rhea and Brian, who pretty much run the nights and really, are doing great things down there. They're actually a couple, and they couldn't be more polar opposite of each other, and in such a good way. Bree is such a driver of things, and then even MJ, like he's been so laid back, and now Chris, someone I've known for a long time, and I actually stalked him while he was like going through chef school, and now he's getting an opportunity to like rediscover his own roots. And Dustin, who we pulled from Cook Street, and it's just been Chinatown has really started to just kind of come together really organically after us trying to kind of we realize now that breakfast on its own in that room for what it is, with all the things that are going on, it's just not gonna cut it. It's just not enough. Downtown it is empty, like it's quiet, man, and also downtown for breakfast is there's a lot of great businesses out there that people are already that's a part of their morning routine. And I don't even know, like, I don't even want to break that. Like that's a hard thing to break. Like you try to take like Roz's lineup at Blue Fox, like good luck, man. Like that's not something that
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, and
No.
I don't want it to happen, right? Like
Yeah.
we wouldn't be here without her, So it's kind of like same with John's place and like all the guys that did it before us. So we're kind of like, for us to be able to kind of like do our breakfast thing and then now kind of like find our own niche, and that's something else we want to be sensitive to, is that we don't want to take away too much from like some of the Chinese, like the businesses that are in Chinatown now. So we're hoping to try to not repeat. Like I'm not going to try to do what Alex Walian's doing. I'm going to try to kind of find my own thing a little bit, and really pay homage to the guys that kind of paved the way in Chinatown a bit. I think we do have some plans, hopefully in the new year, to get in touch with some of these local businesses, because quite frankly, as long as our food is there, like we're really into this cocktail game right now. Like this program that Brian's put together for us is something that for us is fresh and it's new, and it'll allow us to actually sell. Like we've never sold booze before, Dallas. Like this is a new thing for us. So it's neat because we're going to be able to kind of pour that percentage into the food. So the food will actually be a pretty good deal, and then the cocktails are where we're because of the artisan of it, we're going to be able to kind of make a better margin on that, and we're going to be able to put that back into that bowl. So we're not going to have to take any cheats, and we're going to be able to use good animals. And shout out Haas, man. Like that ramen the other night that we made was unbelievable, but it was because of the bones they dropped off for us, right? Like literally, like every time now, right? Those boys are getting pigs. They're like, "You guys want some bones?" And like giving us the feet and the nose, and like
that's the thing though. Like they don't sleep either. They're going.
No, those guys don't sleep. You know how clean their facility is? Like it's crazy.
I'm amazed. I was in there the other day. Super clean. It's spotless.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah,
and I love the fact that they have Guillaume there with the cheese at the front.
Yeah.
Like Guillaume's doing his thing too. He's got those little pop-ups he was doing with the raclette and just.
We want him to do one at Chinatown. I haven't had time to get in touch with him, but I'm going to get in touch with him in the new year as soon as things open up. Like it'd be perfect in those pods for him to do his raclette and just sell tickets.
100%.
100%. So, and that was the other thing about Chinatown right now too, is like there's no chef there with some big ego. They're all young guys. Two of them are papered. or sorry, 3 of them are papered, but no one there is like, this is my kitchen, I want my name on this, that, or the other. They're a unit right now, man. And that's why, like, it's a good opportunity for us to actually be able to bring in other chefs to teach them. And it would come from a very humble place where we're really looking to share that kitchen and that opportunity and let Brian's talk. You know, as long as like we just want to do the cocktails for it. If there's any kind of chefs out there in Victoria that kind of want to do something at night, and even when we were talking to your buddy Mo last night from Wrap and Roll, they did some crazy like tasting menu, and something people just haven't seen. You know, and we're all for it. Like, we're into it, man, big time, and our team is into it. You know, these boys are, like I said, there's not one ego in there, man. Everyone just wants to put out some awesome food and great drinks.
Well, I love the fact you guys are always open to change. Like you're not just static. If something's not working, you're not afraid to like look at it and be like, okay, this isn't working. We're not going to force what we're doing. We're going to try and change it, try something new. Because I feel like a lot of people are afraid to try new things, but then how are you supposed to evolve?
Yeah, it costs a lot of money though.
Yeah, well, I don't doubt it.
We definitely took some licks in the past couple of years trying too many new things, but it's a fine balance, man. You know, like I look at Mark at Brasserie, and he's really like honed in his thing. He knows his identity. He's stuck to what he does, and he does it really, really, really well. And that's great too. It's just for us, it's just not where we're at, but both work for sure in this town. And I think the guys that are actually sticking to who they are the most actually seem to be getting rewarded the most right now too. So both are needed, but it's great.
I'm sort of noticing too that places that were already established as takeout, those places seem to be crushing more than ever.
Right. Yeah,
like the Hive just had their best week ever last week, or the best day ever last week.
Is that right?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so.
And I think it's because when people aren't going out as much and they're thinking of takeout, they're thinking about the places that would come to mind as takeout.
Yeah.
So I feel like
for a business to adjust like we did to more of a takeout thing, you know, I mean, Benny's are good for takeout. They eat well, but I mean, you know, some of those like you've actually noticed our Chinatown dinner offerings, like Asian food heats up extremely well. The next day. And you know, I took a dinner home the other night, left it in my fridge overnight, and it was chow mein, fried rice, Brussels sprouts. We heated it up the next day in a pan, oil, a little water, boom, came back to life, and it was like fucking amazing.
Yeah, that chow mein is so good.
Oh, it's the house char siu too. Fuck, it's really good.
Dude, that char siu from house is like, it's crazy. So when you go to like Chinese banquets and you go to like weddings and it's like a special event, they don't just do barbecue pork, right? They do like barbecue pork neck meat. They use the neck. And so when we first toured like and talked to them about doing our meat and stuff for Chinatown, when they like sampled us their char siu, I was like, what part of the pig is this? And they're like, we only use the neck meat. I was like, all right, these boys are, and like they just did that on their own. Like it just so, you know what I mean? And that's when you're kind of like, all right, these guys are doing something that's different. You know, that's next level for sure. And it's unbelievable because you look at it, it looks like such a lean piece of meat, but there's a lot of fat. There's a lot of texture in there. You know, it's really good.
Did you see they got those Twix bars, the bacon infused Twix bars that they made?
Oh no way!
Yeah, did you see that?
I love Twix. That's my favorite.
Well, yeah, and they're making these Twix bars, and they like posted it up, and it was gone so quickly. I'm like, dude, why don't you give me a heads up? I need to have this.
What's in it? What do you say is in it?
It's bacon infused. Like it's a home. Yeah, it's a homemade
Dallas,
Twix bar.
Are you a stoner, Dallas?
No, no, not at all.
Bacon infused Twix bars. That sounds amazing.
Well, they got those bacon tart things, like the butter tarts, but it's got bacon in it, and those things crush.
They fuck hard.
Oh yeah, they'll blow your dick off. Yeah, they're good. Dude, Jason, where are you going for dim sum? Which place are you going to?
Oh man, I'd probably say Don Me's. I mean, you know what? I kind of go to them all a little bit. I'll be honest. You know, I used to go to Golden City a fair amount when Dan Lowe's family owned it. I don't go there as much anymore as I used to. To be honest, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge dim sum guy. Like my wife and my kids, they love it. Donnie's is where they go. Definitely, Jade Fountain is a place. Is also a place that serves good dim sum. I just can't quite get over the urine smell.
Well, I've always heard people.
But maybe that's the mark of a good dim sum place.
Yeah, it's like Piss Alley.
Yeah.
But I've always heard it's here like Jade.
To be there, and I'm just kind of I don't know how to feel about it, But Don Meese still is, for me, it's childhood memory stuff, man. My uncle Steven, who's the former owner of that, every time I go in there, I think about him quite a bit. So I'd say if I got to choose one, that'd probably be the spot that I talk about.
Yeah, it seems to be everyone either chooses Jade Fountain or Don Meese. It's like people are hardcore into one or the other.
Yeah.
Don Meese has that history. I mean, you walk by, it's got that the neon sign, which you see everywhere in places like Japan, But then when you walk into Chinatown, it's that kind of one, landmark signage. It's pretty cool. So
we like the idea of dim sum though, and we like the idea of small plates, and we definitely want to explore more the idea of kind of that idea of like something comes in the middle. There's four of you. There's four portions of it. Everyone has a bite. Like Nowhere kind of does dim sum in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like dim sum is really just small plates, right? And with tea or whatever drinks that you have, and it's about eating with people that you love, and it's like a regular check-in. So the brunch scene in Victoria, in a weird way, it is kind of like that same demographic. It's just different food, right? But it's the same premise. It's that time of catch up with your family, and it's based in tradition, and
That's interesting. Yeah, the small plate thing, like talking about Nowhere, how everyone gets the same thing at the same time, and you're all biting into it. Now you're like discussing what you're just experiencing right there.
Yeah. On small plates, have you been to Stage yet, Dallas?
You know what? So one of the desserts that I used to love, and I haven't had it in so long, is the thing at Cactus Club, the chocolate peanut butter bar thing. Have you guys had that?
No.
So like,
maybe we should go to Cactus.
It was hilarious that one of my friends, he told me about this. So we went to Cactus here. I ordered dinner, then I got two of the desserts. We went back 6 months later, and I only ordered dessert. I ordered 3 of these things, and the waitress remembered me because I had ordered 2 of them the time before. She remembered who I was. It was hilarious. But I before Stage was sold, I found out that they had like their own version of that thing. So I went and had that, but I didn't actually eat dinner.
Okay. I haven't been, but I just look at what those guys are doing, and like it's all one word menus, and like it's really cool, and like it's super nice guys. I just haven't been out that much myself in terms of like doing like a small plate kind of dine out thing, right?
Anton went there recently. He said it was really good.
Yeah, it's on my list for sure. Yeah, what those
guys
are doing is really cool. It's very Montreal. Yeah, what they're doing there.
Yeah, where have you guys been eating recently?
I've been eating a lot from Chinatown, like from the same. Been putting a lot of kind of time down there for trying to perfect the menus. So
where I've been eating a lot lately? Bull Butchery.
Oh yeah, fuck.
I know you can't because you're so loyal, Dallas. I get that.
No. I want to try that burger, dude.
Dude,
man, the bowls, the shawarma
bowl.
Yeah,
man. As you would say, it fucks.
Yeah,
like I'm eating that thing right now, like 2-3 times a week.
It's
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where else have I been going? Abizo. I do Abizo quite a bit for takeout. That's an interesting one for me. Like they never opened up their dining room. They've just been pounding takeout.
Really?
No dining room. They're closed.
Oh, well, I guess it is kind of a small space, I guess, right?
It is. Yeah.
It is. So they must be doing great. Like I used to always get Abizo. Like I'd do 50-50, right? Like I would get a takeout quite often. I remember Kirsten and I, like one of our favorite things to do, we'd call it double pickup night. So we'd either hit Abizo and Faux V, or hit Abizo and Siam Thai.
Siam, yeah.
Because Siam Thai was kind of like one of the first. I think it was the first like Thai place, And I've been going to Abizo forever. I tried to get into brasserie the other night, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
What else have I got?
I wanted
Is Ibizo still that, or not Ibizo, but brasseries, it's still the same situation where you have to line up for a certain time, or do they change that?
Yeah, it's no reservation.
no reservation,
right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's I'm just hoping to be the brasserie's waiting room, right? Like,
Yeah.
go get on the phone, go in there, put your name on the list, come to Chinatown, have a cocktail, and then
Have a small
shoot,
plate.
shoot back over to brasserie for your steak frites and your French onion soup and dog salad or whatnot.
So if you're going out for a steak, is it brasserie where you're going?
Yeah. Yes. I don't, you know.
I don't eat steak when I go over here.
No, I eat steak at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never eat steak anywhere, but people ask me.
I do love the keg. I'll be honest. You know, if I'm getting a steak, I do love the keg
I have
on
trouble
Culver Street.
I mean, we go see Jeff from Slater's quite often.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
usually pick
Which-
up a northern.
Thank you for telling me, Jason, about Willow's Pizza, because you were the first one to ever mention that place to me.
What's that?
How is
Willow's.
it?
Willow's.
Yeah, man. That place is great.
I haven't been in fucking still right beside it now, but yeah. How is it?
Oh, it's incredible. And so the owner there, I forget his name, but he's such a humble guy and he does so many good things for the community and he doesn't want anyone to know about it. Like he legitimately doesn't, he's told me things and he's like, don't repeat this.
Yeah,
But it's like,
he's a character, man.
oh yeah, but he's awesome. Like he's doing amazing stuff, but he doesn't want anyone to know about it. He's like, I'm already busy enough. I don't want more customers.
Yeah, well, he actually, going back to your pizza review thing, he actually is one of the few places in town that uses Saputo cheese.
Yes, I think he might be like one of the only places that can get that cheese because of that subsidy.
What's that?
Well, then whatever that government program is that allows him to get that cheese, it's like nobody's in whatever.
Cheese subsidy.
Yeah.
Cheese subsidy.
You know where else I've been getting great pizza, and I've actually, because I'm all the way out here in Gordon Head, and it's been a staple here in this neighborhood for a long time, is Hot House.
Oh yeah.
I love Hot House because it's not greasy.
No, it's not.
I love greasy pizza too, but I don't know, man. Sometimes it's just a little too greasy for me. So, and they've got a great deal. I think it's like Sunday to Thursday. It's like you get a large for like $17.
Yeah, cheap.
Like cheap. Like, it's unbelievable.
Have you had Sukchai Thai?
Is that the one on 4th Street?
Yeah, they got.
I did go there once.
These little cups. It's this little appetizer. You get these little it's like almost like a sweet cone cup, and you put this meat filling in and a little sauce on it. Fuck.
So I've had I think that same thing at Sabai.
Okay.
They call it golden cups. It's a little it's chicken and corn and stuff, and you put a sweet sauce over it.
Oh man, so good.
It's killer.
We should actually do things like that at Chinatown. It's very delicious.
But yeah,
We should.
On the pizza tip though, I think I might have mentioned this before, but I got Mo to. So I watched the One Bite reviews with Dave Portnoy.
Oh yeah.
Like the One Bite pizza with like the one bite, everyone knows the rules.
Oh yeah.
And he loves pizzas that have are red on the top.
He what?
He loves pizzas that are like red, like the top of the pizza is red.
Right.
And I didn't know what that was. So I got Mo, he made the pizza 3 days before they closed down. And it was the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And it had the pasta sauce on the top.
Oh,
So it was,
top of the cheese?
yes, pepperoni, cheese, sauce. It was the best pizza I've ever had with one topping. Normally I load it on. You would never do that in this case because it didn't need it. Like you got the tang and the sweet from the sauce. Then you're in the texture of the cheese and pepperoni. And then his crust is really soft. It like literally my eyes just opened and he had a bite at the same time. We were both like blown away. We didn't know what was going on.
Wow.
So I was sad.
When I ate pizza in New York, like New York pizza for me, you can't top it. It's
Matt
so
Portnoy, he's putting down $500K, man. He's doing.
Is he doing it?
Relief fund in New York.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's putting his money upward. That's awesome.
Yeah. Again, I look at what's going on down south, man, and I can't imagine, being shut down like that. No subsidies, nothing. But you're not allowed to operate.
Yeah, I mean.
So sitting here right now, things could always be, but things can always be better. Like you ask us in the hospitality, that's how are things going? Like they can always be better.
Yeah.
Right. Like we're never going to be happy with what we have, but this year, I think more than any, I think that's why we chose to close is that we're feeling extremely grateful. And we're so grateful how our team has really adapted, and not only like adapted for us, but like they've helped us adapt. You know, they've led the way and like, hey, we should do this, we should do that. Let's do this. I think we could do this better. And like everyone's been amazing. Like, yeah, they haven't missed a beat. No one's taken any time off because we're closed 2 days of the week, so everyone gets the same. They have to work the same 5 days, so there's no coverage right now. You know, we've kept our bubble really small as we can. So no one's missed a beat, and that's why I was kind of like just even thinking about. We've got a new baby right now in the family, in the village family, Maggie May. Shout out Maggie May, and just thinking about her first Christmas, we were like, you know what, let's have one at home. You know, and it's gonna be really great. Yeah.
Awesome. I don't know. This has been incredible, guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be like not 5, but maybe like 15, 20 minutes. And like we basically just did a full episode of VicFoodStories inadvertently.
So what's all this? I've been seeing a lot of hearts in the bottom corner. What is that? I'm not Instagram.
They're for Dallas, man.
Are they for Dallas? Yeah.
That might be my girlfriend doing that. But I think people can like the live stream or something, and it'll pop up some hearts when people do that.
Oh, gotcha.
Sweet, man.
Do you guys have anything else you wanted to cover?
Not really. No, I mean, if anyone's interested in turkey pho, we'd love to. If you go to ChinatownVillage.ca, it's honestly it's gonna be a really good batch. We're looking forward to it. I've never tasted turkey pho before, so looking forward to that. So you can go on there and order your kit for Christmas Eve. So that's one thing that I'd put on the radar if anyone's looking for a little untraditional Christmas Eve dinner.
And so that still hasn't got the May approval yet, though.
No, but she's coming in on the 22nd.
Okay.
She's we're finishing that off with her, which gives us a day to kind of make sure that it is.
It's a bit of a gamble to buy it now, but you know, there's not a lot of exciting stuff going on. Let's roll the dice here.
Yeah. And for people that don't know the situation with the pho, maybe explain that whole thing with May coming in and trying it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we did a pop-up, when was that? 2018?
Yeah, I mean the short version is that May's family, the Fung family, like their pho recipe is sacred. And in town, like in the Vietnamese community, there's like a gathering of Vietnamese people, and it's like a potluck type thing. Mama Fung is the one that makes the pho. Someone else makes the spring rolls, whatever. She's the pho person, right? So her recipe is heralded by the Vietnamese community as like the one. And May did a pop-up with us. They were there for 4 months residency.
Yeah.
That was the rickshaw, right? That was the rickshaw.
The rickshaw.
Yeah, rickshaw.
Yeah.
And then we're just good friends. Like we're, you know, she's a sister to us, and we're really tight. And you know, just looking for that edge to try to kind of get things going. And she came and helped us, and we had to sit down with her mom and let her know that we weren't going to bastardize the recipe or like divert from any of the ingredients. And she wanted to know like where the chickens were coming from to like, you know. It was an arduous process. It was a lot tougher than applying for CERB, but like it was pretty like, and it's pretty full on. And even to this day, like we've said to May, we're like, hey, you know, like I think we can do this, but she's like, no, she's like, I gotta come taste it, otherwise Mama Fung's not gonna let you sell it. And because we just feel bad sometimes. Like she's very busy, and like I said, you know, between hockey and her work, and like come on a Sunday to taste the soup, but. She's been doing it every Sunday, and we've been passing with flying colors, I think. And, so yeah, man, it's honestly, it's chicken soup, like soul stuff, you know, for sure.
And so, is it a little bit sweet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Daikon has sweetness, and it's definitely more on the edge. I'd say it's almost close. I think that's why you like it so much, Dallas, because you're sweet tooth. Like it's almost more on the sweet end than the fish saucy, salty, savory end, you know?
Yeah.
And even after you eat it, like at the restaurant, like I find like my clothes aren't like, you know, just pungent of like only fish sauce, because I think like, and I don't want to talk bad about any one or anything, but it's just kind of the traditional pho. It's just a lot of fish sauce, a lot of salt.
And this you feel clean. You don't feel bloated. You don't feel, it's a really nice.
Well, all that stuff, we had that lunch when I came in that day. Like, I ate a lot, and I didn't feel gross afterwards at all.
Yeah.
Like,
we
not
got,
at all.
we're getting like some pork meat from Haas. Is it House or Haas? Haas? Dallas, can you clear this up for us, please?
English is second language for me.
House.
Okay. We're getting this basically like a dumpling meat from them, and it's you add that to the pho, and it's delicious. We got these little dumplings, and put that into it. It's a nice little add-on. So it's a great bowl. It's a really, really good bowl. I mean, I eat it probably 3
I love the fact you guys are working with them too.
Yeah.
Like, I love it when the people that I like know really well and I really respect get together and start doing stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Like, you connected and we ran with it, so it's kind of, it's awesome, man. Like what you continue to do for us and what you continue to do for the community is, I don't know, Dallas, like we got to get you paid at some point here, man. You can't keep working for free here.
No payments, please. This is payment enough to be able to sit down and like talk with you guys and share this with others. That's enough.
That's sweet.
That's more than enough.
That's awesome, man. Thank you.
I mean, like my regular job, like I got given a bunch of stuff today, and I'm actually excited to get into this thing, which is full epi white chocolate bark.
Oh
yeah.
So like I got my money taken care of, and I'm getting treats from it, and this is outside of the food stuff, so I'm good.
Sweet, man.
And if anybody, I will say too, if anybody has any questions, feel free to type them down below, because I haven't been looking at what people are saying down at the bottom there. It looks like Will was in here.
Oh, Chef Willie.
Yeah, Chef Will was in here. Yeah. Yeah, I got some other stuff too. I got a bunch of chocolates, like a whole mess load of stuff.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm not trying to get diabetes though, so I got to chill out. Somebody gave me this ornament. It's like a little tiny mask.
Oh, that's cute.
Which is hilarious. She said it's for I don't have an elf on the shelf, but she said you could be on the elf on the shelf.
Fit your nose?
Yeah, no, my head's too big, dude. That won't even fit my nostril.
What size hat do you wear?
8.5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lucky.
It's not cool. Like, try and find, or an 8.25 will maybe fit sometimes.
So when the one with the like adjustable back, what do you leave it open? I got a buddy's dad that leaves it open. We always
No, it'll be up to here. My head's tall. It'll be up to here.
Right.
But like, FlexFit?
What's that?
FlexFit, the company FlexFit.
Oh yeah.
There's one place in the States called Big Head Caps, and they make a size 4 and 5 XL. And that's the hats I have to import from like Massachusetts. Those fit. I've spent so much money on hats trying to get something that fits. It's insane. So
we're gonna make you a hat, man.
Yeah, we got you.
Oh my God, I would lose my mind. Because honestly, I think if hats fit me, I would be collecting like restaurant hats like crazy if I could.
Right.
But now I'm all about the t-shirts. So I've gotten like 25 t-shirts now over this year from different places around town. So I'm growing that collection.
I saw you wearing the Pollo Hermanos. Bad. That's a great shirt.
Yeah, that one's dope.
Yeah.
So we got one here. What are you planning to make for Christmas dinner? What's going on in Christmas?
What's that, sorry?
We got a question here about what are you planning to make for Christmas dinner?
Well, I unfortunately have Village Express making my dinner. VillageX.ca. Unfortunately, it's sold out now, but we got nice local birds from Ireland Farms through our buddy Jeff at Slater's. He's been very, very nice to give us some of his quota, because he usually sells out of turkeys pretty quick, but he puts some aside for us to help us out. Nate's doing the stuffing. They're doing a bunch of different sides from kind of just a collection of different family recipes and stuff. I think there's a sweet potato bake. I want to say there's Brussels sprouts with Red Barn bacon, of course.
Yeah.
We're doing whipped potatoes instead of mashed potatoes. So like we definitely kind of like threw the dinner together. We posted it online. We sold it, and then we cut it off early so we could actually like go a bit nowhere with it, you know, like, and actually like do some personal touches on there and kind of make it a bit more homey, like less is more for us instead of like a big quantity. I think when we did Easter, we did like 50 of them.
Yeah.
And it was just mental. Like we didn't have a place to put turkeys. It was crazy.
It was too much.
And I think we're going to do about 25 homes for Christmas. So that'll be Christmas dinner. Definitely going to do, I've got a really nice 6-bone prime rib for Christmas Eve dinner that I'm going to do. And then probably freeze up that prime rib for the rest of the time and put it in my turkey pho, you know,
Dude, that reminds me, at Willow's Pizza, he will do a prime rib pizza with prime rib from Slater's.
Oh, that's a good catch.
Did you know about that?
Yeah, that's
you know,
good.
something about Slater's that I think people sleep on a bit is, so like Jeff has this contact and like, I think it's northern BC, it's like border Alberta. And the product is, it's AAA, but it's a company called Northern Gold. There's something about that beef, man. It's just, for me, I want to support island beef, but there's just the flavor, man. It's unbelievable. The marbling is so consistent. The color of the beef is so red. So we have a rule, like in our house now, like we just eat less beef and just higher quality from Jeff. Like it's a no-brainer, and he's super smart. Like he always buys stuff. He kind of plays the market a little bit, so his prices always like they're higher than what you would pay to go buy steak at Costco, but they stay kind of the same no matter what the market kind of does. And if you eat his steak, if you eat his beef versus say like what you get at Kirkland, yeah, it's AAA and it's tender, but it doesn't have the same beef flavor. Like with his stuff, like I actually enjoy eating the gristle. So like when I cut up a strip loin steak, I'll like save all the like the chewy, like not chewy, but like the cartilage and the fat and stuff, and like I'll eat that, like chop it up and put it on my rice or whatever, while my kids eat like the best part of it.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's funny, like
it's delicious, you know, it's amazing. So
well, we were trimming up some whole strip loins, and I never had this piece. I don't know if you've had it, Dallas. It's called the chain. So it's along the back part of the strip. I guess it's like it's almost where it attaches to the rib. I think I'm not sure exactly what part, but it's this. It looks like the garbage meat. Like if you didn't know what you were doing, you just slice it off and you throw it away. But Jay's like, oh yeah, no, throw this on your barbecue, try it out, and grilled it up. And there's so much fat in it that just seeps into this tender part of the meat. Oh man, it is like every bite is like a mini tenderloin, and it with more fat. It was.
When I trim the steak now, I leave it on. I don't even take it off anymore. So each steak has like that one little like pearl, like it's But his beef is, and he went full Northern Gold. Like he used to source from like 3 different guys, but he was like, screw it, I'm just gonna charge a little more and just keep this one product in house now. And he's sweet, man. Like having a buddy that's a butcher like him, you're way ahead of the game. It's sweet.
It's amazing when you do get good meat, because I was in Cook Street Village because I live by there.
Meat Dog.
Yeah, I was over and saw Meat Dog, and he wasn't there, but I got some of his beef, like some ground beef.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and if you ever do go there, for anyone watching, make sure you get the bag, because you get 10% off if you have that bag. But yeah, like when you buy good quality meat, then you can taste the difference. It's like it was very apparent.
Oh yeah, sometimes if you get the cheap ground meat, you get those little bits in it that you chew, it's hard. And if you get his stuff is great. It's all organic, I think, too, isn't it?
Yeah, I would. The thing with his shop that I really like is the rotisserie chickens.
Oh yeah, those are...
like the ones in the bag. Because with his, I've actually, I've never had the case where you open the bag, you pull the thing out, and like half the chicken is just laying on the bottom of the bag because it all fell off the bone.
Falls apart. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's really good value. I think it's like $9.99 or $10.99 for
I don't know,
roasted chicken. I mean, that's a couple meals for sure.
Yeah, or you can do what I do and just eat it all at once and feel gross after.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how excited are you to have Root Cellar coming down to you soon?
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. I mean, I did feel bad about Oxford because Oxford's been there for so long.
Yeah.
Man,
but
the guys that own Oxford are renting it to Root Cellar. Don't feel bad for them.
Oh, are they?
Fine. They didn't go out of business, man. They own the building.
They just picked
Oh.
Yeah. They're sitting at home now collecting a nice lease that Daisy and Adam are going to work to pay them.
Okay.
Like, don't feel bad for them. Don't worry, they're fine.
Okay, good. I'm excited. Well, no, I'm super excited to have the root cellar right there.
Yeah, it's a good changing of the guard, man, and I think Cook Street could definitely use their energy. Like the work that they do is, we are excited to have them come in big time.
Yeah, I've only ever met Daisy. I haven't met her husband, but Daisy's always been super nice every time I met her.
Yeah, he's a beauty fisherman. He's great, man. He's quiet for sure, but he's definitely like really nice guy, man. They're awesome. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, it's just like incredible when you go to the root cellar and see how it used to be and what it's grown to now.
Yeah.
Like
time.
it's crazy.
Big time.
I love when they get the purple yams there or the purple sweet potatoes. They haven't had them for a while, but for some reason I've never had these things before and I love them.
Have you ever had their green sauce?
Yeah, so the green sauce I used to be like addicted to and I had to get off it because I was spending too much money.
You snort.
Like, like it used to be. Do you remember they used to have it in a cooler when you were sort of walking up to the till? There was like a specific cooler where you'd open the door and get it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because it used to be cheaper and I could afford just to like, because I go crazy. I would buy like 2 big things of it. But I got to tame myself with that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I haven't tried the mean sauce because they got the mean sauce now too.
The mean sauce, yeah, I haven't had that one. Is it like a smoky chipotle sort of thing?
It's something else. I guess it's hotter. I don't know.
Right.
One of the sauces that I do love that's made up in Mill Bay is called yeshi. Have you guys ever had yeshi?
No.
I have. I think I have. Yeah.
The smoky chipotle of that is my favorite sauce that I've ever had. Yeah, it's something where anyone can eat that because it's celiac friendly. It's vegan. It's pretty much good to go for anybody.
There you go.
Awesome, guys. Well,
So we're gonna see you Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'll be there on Saturday. Yes, this has been incredible, guys. I really appreciate the time.
No, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
You promise me you're gonna run the food and the drink menu on Saturday.
Yeah. Don't drive, Dallas.
Don't drive.
No. I can walk. It's all good.
All right.
I can drive you home. I want to see how you'll have a good time.
I'm gonna take a page from our buddies at Pig and the Lady there who have hugely inspired us in like what we've done with Chinatown and like Pig and the Lady and Oahu there. And every time we go to their restaurant, like they crush us with food, and booze. So we're gonna do that to you. Merry Christmas, buddy. But,
Awesome, thank you.
Wear some sweatpants.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do. Thank you, guys. I know Natalie's really excited about it. She's excited to come down.
Awesome. Tell her to wear sweatpants, man. We're gonna roll you out of there.
Wear sweatpants.
Yeah, but okay. I'll get ready. I'm gonna prime for my 3 or 4 pound capabilities.
Do it.
We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm not quite in shape for that anymore. Like that 6 pound bowl of pho that I did. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm looking forward to it, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, buddy. Good to see you.
We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Cheers.
Peace.